And so that's what they did here. All right, you can see that they're facing opposite. This would be a reflection. This one, they're not facing opposite, so it's a rotation. And here we are with a reflection. All right, so that's problem 1. All right, let me go to problem 2. Over here it's saying select the sequence that you get from P to Q. So this is where some of us, one of you guys understand, like, oh, I can reflect. So I can click the option right here. I could, you're going to say translate and reflect, not totally. A rotation would not get me there because it's turned around. A translation, remember, it has to go in the same direction. Now, what I'm saying is when it's opposite of each other, it has to be a reflection, but if you do a translation, it's going to move it down. There's no way you could get it back up there. So the other one is multiple reflections. What do I mean? I could have reflected it over here, then over here, and then back up. So there's multiple ways you could have done that. So just keep that in mind. There's always more possibilities to do that. If you're not sure about this one and you still need help, tomorrow remind me and I can go over it in more detail. All right, this one, we can see that the object is not going in the same direction, so it's not a translation. We can see that it's not flipped or opposite of each other, so it's not a reflection. And it is slightly turned. It's slightly 90 degrees, so it is a rotation. Okay. This next one, you can just see, I won't spend much time, is it's going in the same direction. And when it always goes in the same direction, translation. All right. Next question. Which transformation? Now, if you look at this, they're not in the same direction. Okay, so it's not a translation. If you draw it, it is a reflection of each other, so it's opposite. So, and it's not turned. So keep that in mind. So remember, when they're next to each other, if they were right next to each other and it was a rotation, it would be turned going a different way because that's a 90-degree turn. So those are just some hints to help you out. All right, location, 5, -3. So here's 5, -3 right there. All right. And then it says rotate 180 around 0, 0. Now, the rule is if I start with x comma y, I go to -x comma -y. So I change everything to its opposite for 180. And that would become -5 comma 3, because the opposite of 5 is -5. The opposite of -3 is 3. So that's what we get. So -5, 3, and there would be my point. Now another way of doing that is if I draw this line up and over. Okay? So I continue this process. If I went over, so now I need to go 90 degrees, I bring this line down, I go the same distance I was here, 5. See how I created a 90-degree angle? And this object went down, so then I need to go out this way, 3. I need to go 180, so now I do the next one. I go out 5, and you can see that I drew another angle, so 90 plus 90 is 180. And I go up, and I end up at that same direction. And you can see how we continue that same pattern. So just a couple ways of solving that problem. And then just remember the rules for 90 I've gone over in class. So if you're not sure, ask me again before you do the retake. Okay, so this one here, it says image after translate 3 units to the left and then reflect over the y. So let's go left. So we got 1, 2, 3. So we're at this point, which is -1, 6. All right, and now here's the y-axis is right here. So guess what I'm doing? I'm going back over there. All right, so I'm going to just kind of erase here for a minute and then bring back the point. So this is where we were. I'm reflecting over the y. I'm 1 away, so I have to go 1 away here, and I end up over here, and it's at 1, 6. So notice I was at -1, 6. So what's the rule when you reflect over the y? You change the x. When you reflect the x, you just change the y. So hopefully that makes a little bit more sense moving forward. All right, start at -5, -3. This one I reflect over the y, then translate 4 units down. So here's the y again. how far am I? 5 units. So I go 5 units over here. So now I'm at 5, -3, and notice, oh, -5, -3. The -3s were the same. I reflected over the y, so I changed the x. So hopefully you remember that. And then 4 units up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now I get 5, 1, and there we go. So keep that in mind. Now we go to the next problem. Remember, rotate counterclockwise. We'd like to make the grid here. That helps us. And then if I have this, I can do points, so I'll just do 1 point. This says 3, 0, all right? And it says 90 counter. I flip the numbers, and counter is to the left. So this is the left number. I change it to its opposite. Well, there's no opposite, so I go 0, 3. That's what I would go there. If this point was 1, -1, 1, I flip them. I get 1, -1, all right? And its counter, I change the to its it comes there. So that's how you connect the dots. Give labels to them, and then you can move along. So just keep that in mind. All right. So that's one of the tougher ones. But again, remember the rules of 90 degrees counter and clockwise and clockwise. So I'm not. If you need more explanation on this, please let me know before you do the retake. And then the last one is here. How can we get there? Well, 1, you reflect. Okay, so here's where you're making mistakes. So sometimes you want to say the line. So you could say, label this and reflect over a line. Or if you said reflect over the x-axis. Now, notice how this is 2 away from it. All right, from the x. So I have to go 2 down. So I'm going to draw the same image there. And now that's a reflective of the x. I then translate it 2 to the right. Oops, sorry. 2 to the right this way, and then 2 up. So that's how you get specific with it. So that's the key to these problems, is getting a little bit more specific. I'm trying to do better and get more detail. Each time I will get better as I get better with the software. But that's the review for the test. Again, if you have questions tomorrow, ask me again before you do the retake. All right, that is it.